All right. Are we? Yeah, I think so. Good morning, beloveds. I'm being stared at by Dante. He's over there in the window on an old computer tower staring at me. It is what it is. So he got, we did get up and go to the gym. I'm running a little bit late today. The lights were not nice. Like going to and from the gym. It's 8 miles, but it can take 20 to 25 minutes because the lights are dumb. And that it just, some days it is what it is. Okay. So I don't know why I'm complaining, because I'm clearly complaining, but we are doing this. So let's do the, hold on. It is allergy season. Yay. Let me just get a drink of water. Maybe that'll help. And he just fell off the tower. He's trying to turn around. I don't know what he's doing. Okay. Now he's turned his back on me. Okay, housekeeping. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact. Email info@creativelife.org. You get 1 email a week, tells you what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot. It is also a blind CC, which means nobody will see your email. So you won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. Last thing is the social media, and I only mention it because we don't monetize it. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do is go like, subscribe, follow, based on which platform you're on, and then engage with the individual posts. So react to the post, comment on the post, share the post. It bumps us in the algorithms, more people see our stuff, which in the end is the goal. And it's a free and easy way that you can support the center. So that is that. Okay. So I know it's backwards. We are doing Your Spiritual Power, which is a collection. Okay. It's a collection of his other works. Some of his rare works, some of his smaller works. Somebody went, hey, these aren't a lot of places. Let's gather them up and put them together in one place. So that's what they did. We are currently doing Pray and Prosper, which we're almost finished with. And it's been interesting because I was reading the description that I actually put in the YouTube. Oh, yeah, which I forgot to do. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, and I'm the running Rev Ryan on the platforms that I'm on, because all of these go to live in perpetuity on YouTube, but they are on the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel. So they describe Pray and Prosper as an essay where Ernest is describing what he thinks prayer is. And that's exactly what it's been. So he's had little short, couple of paragraphs of different ideas about prayer. Like yesterday we talked about the science of prayer and the art of prayer. Well, today we're going to talk about the prayer of acceptance, conscious union with God, and dominion over evil, which should be really interesting. Did you fall off again, you goofball? I don't know what he's doing, because he's now behind a bookcase, so I can't really see him. All I can see is a little bit of his back and his tail. Cat, kitten, more importantly. He's not even a year old yet. So, but he's a chunk. Like, I'd pick him up. I picked him up yesterday. He's heavy. He's going to be a big boy when he is full grown. So, back to prayer. Because they're distracting. So it's been really interesting, and we'll do 3 of them, and we've got 2 more days. So tomorrow, we will finish this tomorrow, and then we will move on to, or maybe we've got 3 days. We're going to move on to Discover a Richer Life. But today, we're going to start with the prayer of acceptance. Let me get my glasses on. Got my light on, got my glasses on. If you were reading along in the book, we are going to start on page 174 with the prayer of acceptance. Jesus plainly taught his followers that prayers would be answered when the one praying accepted the answer. This is why it is written that the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise them up. This gives us an interesting sidelight on the divine law. First, we have a prayer of faith, one of complete acceptance. We have an affirmation which completely embodies an idea. We believe. This is the prayer of faith which heals the sick. Next, we have this thought, and the Lord shall raise them up. There could be no clearer statement of the law of cause and effect, the law of mind in action than this. First, our acceptance, then the healing of the sick through the action of the law, relieving us of any obligation or responsibility other than that acceptance or belief. The law operates upon acceptance through our belief at the level of our faith according to our recognition. As thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee. This is the magic key to the storehouse of abundance. Our acceptance must be spontaneous as well as conscious. That is, the whole mind must accept, the whole being must respond. We must accept inwardly, outwardly, and completely. And I would say that that is the reason why Ernest says to not redo treatments. If we feel the need to redo a treatment, to not redo a treatment, but to treat our treatment. Because most likely what we need to do is treat either our belief, our faith, or our acceptance. The treatment was probably fine just the way it was, but we are doubting ourselves, or we are doubting God. We are doubting the divine. We are doubting the law of cause and effect. Therefore, we go back and treat that. We don't want to redo the treatment. What we want to do is treat either our faith or our acceptance. Which one is wobbling? Which one is wobbling? And if both are wobbling, we can treat both. So that, and that's the biggest thing. It's like God can only give us what we are willing to accept. Yep. Okay. Moving on to conscious union with God. That they may be one even as we are one. Jesus was praying that he might awaken the consciousness of his followers to a sense of their divine union. The oneness of all life is the pivotal point around which all spiritual meditation should revolve. I am the vine, ye are the branches. This I am, which is within us, is God, the living Spirit Almighty, branching out through us into self-expression. That's a way of saying it. The tree of life flourishes in our experience when watered at its roots with quiet contemplation of the union of the soul with its source. Our consciousness is rooted in this divine presence and should branch out into all our actions. Notice how he says all our actions, not some of our actions, all our actions. Our actions are the fruit of this tree of life. We are one with all the power there is, all the presence there is, and with the perfect law of liberty. We have always been unconsciously unified with good, but now that which was unconscious must become conscious. I tell you, the drumbeat of science of mind is consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. It's like we've been doing all of these things the whole time, but we have been doing them unconsciously, which they're a lot less effective. So when we start to do them consciously, they are far more effective. Because we know what we're doing, we know what we're asking for, we know that if we ask for it, then we have to accept it, therefore, we receive it. Consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. Too many times we are sleepwalking through our lives. And if we would just wake up, things would be, I hesitate to say easier. Because I'm not sure that that is the case. But maybe the word that I'm looking for is predictable. When we are awake, then we can see the signs, we can take the hints, we can take the we don't have to be hit by the spiritual 2x4. Things progress in a more orderly fashion. Our life isn't quite so chaotic, which is why I say I'm not going to say easier, but less chaotic. We must recognize this union and loose its power into action. Realizing that we are thinking the thoughts of God, we must know that nothing opposes the truth which utters itself through us. Truth is one, that they may be one even as we are one. Truth is never divided against itself. Now, he is using the capital T here. It is always available. If we would pray and prosper, we must so live that all our thoughts and acts are constructive, helpful, and life-giving. And see that right there, the divine cannot act against its nature. So when we ask for things, we have to make sure that they are constructive, helpful, and life-giving. We got to do it in accordance with the nature of the divine. So sometimes when we're asking for things, maybe we aren't quite in alignment, and that's why we're not getting an answer. Thus, the eternal goodness itself, flowing from the fountain of its own indivisible oneness, passes through us into creation. All right. One more. We're going to do dominion over evil, and then we are going to stop. And we'll pick up with not much speaking, but deep feeling tomorrow. So that'll be fun. Okay. Dominion over evil. Whatever apparent evil besets us can be neutralized through conscious communion with the indwelling spirit. This is done by resolutely turning from thinking about evil to the contemplation of its opposite, which is good. All evil becomes suppositional. Good alone is real. Which then always brings me back to, because talking about evil is kind of weird. Brings me back to the Shakespeare quote, nothing is good or bad, it's thinking that makes it so. And that evil is not a power in and of itself. I learned a new word called henotheism, and then I heard one of the other practitioners when he was talking to Reverend David say that if we create evil as a power in and of itself, then we are buying into henotheism. So, evil is not a power in and of itself. It is a misuse of the one power. And once I wrapped my head around that, it made a whole lot of things make more sense to me. Okay. One of the ancient scriptures tells us that whatever is of evil is of ourselves, but whatever is of good is of God. No matter what the negative experience appears to be, the real truth about it is its exact opposite. If apparent evil says that we are sick, then truth declares that we are perfect. If the apparent evil says that we are unhappy, then the truth declares that joy belongs to us. Notice it didn't say we are joyful. It says joy belongs to us. There's a difference there because it means we have to activate and use that joy that we already have. Okay. If the apparent evil says that we are alone and friendless, then the truth declares that we are never alone. Now that right there, that is the whole point of the one before, that conscious union with God. If we are consciously with the divine presence, there's nowhere we can go that the divine presence can't go. We are never alone. Never alone. Okay. Let's see. We are always one with the great reality in which is included everything that is, so that's what I just said. He just probably said it a little better than I did. Evil is not overcome by fighting it or by recognizing it. In fact, it's probably the opposite. Let's see what the rest of that sentence says. But by non-resistance to it, by looking through the evil into the good. Thus, evil becomes transmuted. Spiritual communion dissolves evil as light dissolves the darkness. For Yeah. What is this quote? Okay. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. I don't know where that one's from. They shall bear thee up into their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Angels represent the higher activity of the mind. Spiritual communion with the infinite, the transcendent power of light, penetrating every apparent obstruction, breaking down not only the walls of unbelief, but the experiences which these walls have encompassed. Wow. Okay. That last sentence is pretty really. Wow. Okay. Well, one, it's a long sentence. Angels represent the higher activities of mind, spiritual communion with the infinite, the transcendent power of light, penetrating every apparent obstacle, breaking down not only the walls of unbelief, but the experiences which these walls have encompassed. Walls of unbelief. Very interesting. And I like how he says, not only the walls of unbelief, but the experiences. He's not denying that we have these experiences. But that we have to break the experiences down. Break the experiences down, be willing to let them go, be willing to transmute the experience. One of the things that I like to say is that if you learn something, then you didn't fail. Kind of the same thing. It's like, if you have an experience that you would call evil, then, you gotta look at it and learn from it, and pull out from it what it is that it can teach you so that it doesn't happen again. And that's that consciousness, that being awake, being aware, learning from the misuses. And I freely admit, and Ernest would freely admit, that the experience, the evil experiences that we may be having, it's not just our misuse. We are in relation with other people. Therefore, when other people misuse the power, everybody suffers. And so the more conscious we are of how we use that power, then, we can do better. And when we find people who are consciously misusing the power, then we can mitigate that. We can say, yeah, you know what? That's not okay. We're not going to have that. And we're allowed to do that. We are allowed to tell people, I'm not okay with the way this is happening. And here are our options. You want to stay in my life, then you don't do that. And if you continue to do that, you don't stay in my life. And that's okay. And the other thing that you have to know about that power is it doesn't matter who they are. If you have family members who are misusing their power, you are allowed to tell them, this is not okay with me, and I'm not going to be a party to this. And don't let anybody shame you because they're family. So, the title Dominion Over Evil is a little weird, but it is about recognizing that evil is not a power in and of itself. It is a misuse of power. When we know better, we do better. And when we know better and we meet people who also know better but are doing it anyway, then again, we do better by not being a party to it. And then our life is just better for it. So, talking about evil is just always one of those. And it's a weird place to end, but that's where we're going to stop today. Just because 3 is enough. And yeah. So I'm going to end it on a positive note by encouraging you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of yourself day, a know who you are day, a being awake and aware day, a looking through the appearances to the truth day, a go be with your community day, a cuddle your fur babies day, even if they're turning their backs on you day. So a have a good laugh day, a do something just for yourself day, do something for somebody else day. There's nothing like getting out of your own way by volunteering. There's good science behind that. So, whatever it is that you need today, may it find you easily day. A good day, and if that is too much pressure, because occasionally it is, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. My favorite part of that sentence. Don't ever compare yourself to anybody else. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. So explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be. Because the divine knows you to be good. And that is the whole point of this practice, is to get to know who the divine knows you to be. Because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, once you know that, anything is possible. Anything at all is possible. All right. I'm going to move on into the process of my day. So Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I should be back with you around 9-ish tomorrow. And because it is Sunday, we are going to have an amazing service for you. So we will see you right here on Facebook Live or in person at 11. Or if you're watching this anytime after 11, scroll up one video. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, well, hop over to the Creative Life Spiritual Center page and see what we were doing that day. Because, it's a Sunday in October. All right, beloveds. I don't know what I was about to say. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.